Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr. It's the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, June 14th, 2010. How the hell are you? Are you good? Did you have a good weekend? Did you? Did you go down to that place with the thing? I heard it was nice. Was it nice? It is nice. Oh, that's nice. My son, he had a recital this weekend, and we were so nervous. He was all flustered and more suburban talk about shit that nobody cares about. Of course, Frank was in the back with the garden hose. It froze up over the winter. So we have to buy a new one of those. So, Frank, of course, he goes on the internet and he just starts researching all about those hoses. I don't know. Can you imagine just sitting there at the end of a cul-de-sac like that is your fucking reality? Rather than having a wine cellar, I would just have a secret room of fucking porn with Kleenex for me to either rub one out or just sit there crying at what became of my life. Honey, can you go out and fix his bicycle? No. Why doesn't he go climb a fucking tree? Jesus Christ. What did they do in the 1800s? You wonder why the environment's so fucked up. That's it right there, everybody. You just don't want to go out and be a part of your kids' lives. I don't. That's why I told you I enjoyed condoms. I didn't enjoy condoms. I just didn't want to bust one in you without one on. And now I did. And now look at it. Look at my face, sweetheart. Can't you see the misery? Fuck him. Well, he half looks like you. You go fix his fucking bike. I'm not yelling. I'm not. All right, let's get to some of the shit here on the podcast. Oh, I forgot to mention that I was on Joe Rogan's podcast. Had a great time. I went out to his bungalow, and I did his podcast, 2.5-hour podcast that went by in like 3 seconds. And for the life of me, I don't know where the hell to tell you to go get it. Just look up Joe Rogan podcast. He's like hardcore into the internet and technology, and I'm sure his website will take you by the hand and lead you right to his podcast. So please check that out. And one of the things we talked about on Rogan's podcast was he was absolutely beside himself that I was not on Twitter yet. First that I didn't have, what is that thing you have in your car when you don't want to look at a map anymore? I keep saying Gcast, Gmap, iMap, Map 2.0, fucking do it for me. I don't want to think anymore. MapQuest, fuck, what is it called? Whatever. I don't have that thing. I have a map. You tell me where you live, and I look it up, and then I get there. There's no problem. But for some reason, people are blown away by that. But he was even more blown away by the fact that I wasn't on Twitter. So he actually signed me up for a Twitter account. And I told him I don't do that shit. And he goes, he kept saying, you got to do it. You got to do it. It's the best way to hype your gigs. So I'm asking you guys, should I get on Twitter? Because I don't want to go on there and tweet about some fucking cheeseburger I just had, like most people do. But Rogan was swearing up and down, this is the best way to do it. Like he's like, you don't even need to do radio. You just get a bunch of followers on Twitter and you tell them where you're going to be, and then they can all go out and see you. Like that fucking Korean barbecue truck that drives around here out in L.A. People are on Twitter. It's just this fucking truck that has insane Korean barbecue, and people are like, follow the thing on Twitter, and they're like, hey, I'm on such and such in Vine, and everybody drives over to go get some fucking Korean barbecue. So, anyways, we have a poll on the mmpodcast.com. If you guys, if you'd like it, if you want me to be on Twitter, I'll do it. But I got to be honest with you, I'm not going to be, I'll only be tweeting. I'll tweet like I just put the podcast just got posted. I can't do Twitter. Tweet. That's fucking ridiculous. You know what it is? There's part of me, though, I got to stop fighting this shit. By the time I got onto Facebook, it was fucking irrelevant. Nobody gives a shit. Now everybody's on Twitter. I'm giving in a little bit. I'm compromising. Fuck it. What do you want me to do? Huh? You want me to be the spokesperson for BP? I'll do it. Shit, you know something? I could do a better fucking job than their spokespersons are doing. What's their latest spokesperson? What the fuck is that guy saying? They're only birds. I gotta open the window here. Sorry, Cleo. Sorry. She gets so fucking freaked out whenever I do that. Then she starts shaking uncontrollably. Sorry. All right. Let's get back to the podcast. So let me know. Is Twitter as stupid as I think it is, or is it actually decent? But I'm going to be honest with you. If you say to get on Twitter, I'm not going to be tweeting, just got an ice cream and the whole scoop fell in my lap. OMG, LOL. I'm not fucking doing that. All right? I'll have the most boring tweets. But then that's the thing. You get on there, then you gotta try to be fucking interesting. Who gives a fuck? Go on the MM podcast. Let me know what you think. You know, and maybe send me some emails and let me know some of the positive things. If you really think it sucks, just let me know. All right? So there you go. All right. I don't know. My girl's like, let's go get something to eat. And I said, all right. There's a fucking McDonald's right there. And she's like, do you want to eat there? And Soda was looking down at the ground all sad, you know. Just doing that classic female manipulation thing. She knew I wanted to eat there. I just said there's a McDonald's there. And then why would she say, do you want to eat there? And look down at the ground. This question is for all the young male listeners of my whispering podcast. Why would a female do that? Do. I'll tell you why. Because she doesn't want to, not only does she not want to fucking eat there, she already has a place where she wants to eat. She's already had this place that she's wanted to eat at for probably a month before you ever went to Vegas. But she's not going to tell you about it. Because if she told you about it, that'd give you time to do research on it and find out how fucking expensive it was. So she's like, do you want to eat there? And she looks down at the ground. So immediately, despite the fact that I know all this about females, I take the bait. Why? Where do you want to eat, sweetheart? There's this burger place at Mandalay Bay. I heard it was really nice. Do you ever watch Top Chef? Only when you're watching it, sweetheart. I don't like that show. Fucking show is annoying. I hate when the chef starts screaming at those people. His fucking foreign accent. You call that a fucking grilled cheese sandwich? Get the fuck out of my kitchen. Hey, you think I'm fucking afraid of you? You fucking douche. You got a fucking problem with my grilled cheese sandwich. You come up like a fucking gentleman and you take me aside. Don't fucking be screaming at me when I got these fucking knives in my hand. I'll stick it right through your goddamn trachea. What do you think about that? Huh? I'll give you a fucking blowhole right out the front of your fucking neck. Get out of my goddamn face before I take you by your fucking hair and mush your face into this pile of shrimp. Huh? That I haven't taken the shells off, so I'll give you a bunch of little razor cuts. Sorry. That's the good shit at Mandalay Bay. The bad shit is we go to this fucking burger place. I can't even remember the name of it. We go in there, and I order a $16.50 fucking Kobe beef burger. And they're talking about how it's the greatest goddamn burger, the highest quality fucking meat. Yada fucking yada. My girl orders one too. $16.50 and $16.50. What is that, kids? That's $33. Plus fries, plus drinks, all that bullshit. You know, the mob doesn't run Vegas anymore. You can't go out and get yourself a $2 steak. The whole fucking place out there now is it's a fuck over. So whatever. Cost me like 40-something bucks, $50 with the goddamn tip. I eat it. You know what? It wasn't even that good. My girl's like, how's your burger? You know what I said? I said, it's good. Just keeping the peace. Keeping the water nice and smooth, nice and fucking still on the horizon. Okay? So anyways, I get back to my hotel. My girl already tells me she doesn't feel too good. That burger's sitting in her like a goddamn boot. And I'm like, you know what? I feel fine. I get ready to do my show. Iron my button-down shirt. Put a little conditioner in my hair, what's left of it, shape it up a little. And I head downstairs to go work the Orleans Casino. The last place Carlin ever worked. The place where the Smothers Brothers retired. You know? Smothers Brothers, who were so fucking edgy, they actually lost their sketch show. During the Vietnam War, they did, I forget what the sketch was, but they had the balls to say no to the network and do a sketch that was actually criticizing what the fuck we were doing over there, and they lost their goddamn show. You know? I don't know about you guys, but for me, that's lifetime respect. So anyways, I walk down there, and I'm going through the Orleans casino, and then all of a sudden it just fucking hits me. Boom, right in my stomach, like some capsule, some time-release CIA, you're going to shit your pants fucking capsule goes off. And I know there is no question that whatever I just ate was not good for my body, and it was about to reject it. One way or the other. Without getting crude, people, when something goes into your stomach, if it's coming out, it only has two options. All right? Anyways, I just thought of a really, really bad joke for the fucking third one, and I'm not going to say it. But it involved stabbing yourself in the stomach, and you can fill in the blanks on that one. All right. So anyways, so I'm like, you got to be shitting me. No pun intended. So I go in the back way, the same way that Carlin used to go in. Because I've already asked everybody every fucking question. Literally, that's how much I'm into Carlin. How did he leave? Did he hang out? No, he'd say goodnight and he would go right out the door and he'd be in the car. And he wasn't difficult to work with. I guess he had arthritis at the end of his life. And the sound guy was saying one show he forgot to take the bottle caps off the water bottles. And he saw that Carlin was struggling with them. And when he got off, he goes, George, I'm so sorry. And George just like, What? Oh, come on. I don't give a shit. Don't worry. He just walked out. I guess he was a really great guy. So anyways, I'm walking through this legendary door. And, and what's worse is, like, I know it's going to happen. But I know it's not going to happen for, like, another 15 minutes. And coincidentally, the fucking show starts in 15 minutes, and I'm going on first. All right? And this guy, when you're backstage, literally says, 20 minutes till showtime. 20 minutes till showtime. He, like, counts it down. I never get nervous before shows, but this guy counting down the show is making me nervous. 15 minutes till showtime, okay? And it's starting to get worse, and literally gets down to 2 minutes before showtime, and I'm questioning, can I make it through a half-hour set? And I was like, you know what? Fuck this. The show can't start without me. My opening music is Elvis Presley anyways. The fuck do I care? They can listen to that song. I'm gonna rub my fingers through your long black hair. Slam your fucking face off the fucking sink. I don't give a shit. And I said, fuck it. And I fucking ran into the bathroom, and I will spare you the details. But you know when something either amazing or something amazing happens, they make a statue. If something horrific happens, a lot of times they will preserve the area. You know? Like Dealey Plaza. Fucking president gets his brains blown out. All of a sudden, we can't change one blade of fucking grass. The horror that happened in that fucking bathroom, ladies and gentlemen. And I never do shit jokes. They should have retired that fucking bathroom. That's it. They should have just fucking air sealed it and just put a glass fucking door so people could look in and realize why they closed that fucking burger joint at the Mandalay Bay. And I gotta admit, dude, I haven't. It's Monday. I'm finally back to normal. So there you go. There's my big shit story. I had a burger over at the fucking Mandalay Bay, and it almost ruined my fucking show over at the Orleans. So if you guys saw me, anybody saw me Saturday night, all right, you want to talk about a professional, because I extra fucking killed on that show. If you knew what the fuck happened, just know that. The next time you go to Vegas and you go to see Barry Manilow and he's singing that song Mandy, you something, and you something, but I still want to fuck you, oh Mandy, right? Just know that he could have just been shitting his fucking brains out 2 minutes before he put on his rayon fucking slacks with his horrific plastic surgery, his yank back face. I bet, I was going to say he'd need another facelift if he fucking shit the way I did before my show, but that's actually not true. There's no strain. There was no straining. Anyways, all right, Bill. Jesus Christ, enough already. Somebody with some sort of hook. God knows that's how this business works. You got to have a hook. If anything told me that, it was looking at the people headlining in Las Vegas. Yeah, that's not true. There's actually some real comedians out there. George Wallace. I know Bobby Slayton worked out there for a while. There was real comics out there. But the guys who make the big fucking bucks, they just do shit, puppets. How the fuck is that still entertaining in 2010? Like what, I can't do ventriloquism? Is that right? Ventriloquism, is that the right word? You want to hear me talk without moving my fucking lips? I can do that shit. Hey there, dummy. What did you do today? Yeah, fuck you, Bill. You're dumber than I am. Isn't that funny? Huh? The dummy saying you're fucking dumb? No, wait, I gotta have a stupid voice, right? Take it to another level. Hi, Bill. Fucking sold out shows at Caesars. $10 million a year. Entertainer of the year. Bill Burr and fucking ham face. Whatever the fuck your fucking puppet is. Why is the fucking puppet always smarter? Can't somebody switch that up? I'd be arguing with my puppet. The second the puppet started giving me shit. Oh, really? You're so fucking smart? What if I take my hand out of your back? Now look at you. You just fell on your wooden face, didn't you? You dumb fuck. Then I turn on the crowd. What the fuck is wrong with you people? What is it, the 1930s? Jeez, what do you want me to do after this? What's my fucking encore? Come out here and do the goddamn Charleston? All right, so let's get on with the podcast. Last week, ladies and gentlemen, I had the pleasure of performing on the David Letterman show. And most of you went out, you watched it, and you all sent me wonderful emails about it. And I would read you the wonderful emails, but they're not funny. But you are in luck. You know what ones are funny? The ones where people did not like my performance. So let's read a couple of those, shall we? All right, let's read the hate mail here. So what happens with all of my hate mail is when people don't like my act is you can't just write me, evidently, and just say that you don't like my act. You don't appreciate what it is that I do on the stage. What you have to do first is you have to establish what an incredible sense of fucking humor you have and how open you are to all different forms of humor. You know? It's that classic thing like those douchebags on YouTube. Obama's a fucking idiot, and I'm a Democrat. Right? So then we can be like, wow, this guy is left, and even he doesn't like this lefty guy. So this is what they do. All right, so these, both these emails follow to a goddamn fucking T to the motherfucking U and V. They follow it. They follow that pattern. Bill, just read the fucking thing. Okay, here we go. All right. Hi there. That's how this one starts. Starts off nice enough. Hi there. I've been a fan for a while. You seem to have a unique take on things. Look at this, huh? Pat me on the head. Let me sniff her hand, making me nice and fucking relaxed. I loved your bit about the muffins and the mass vehicular murder. So there you go. She just showed how her sense of humor spans the globe. Whether I'm attacking food or actually running over human beings on the sidewalk, she finds it all funny. Though, and here's the rub, as a stay-at-home mom, I now completely despise you. I did this bit about being a stay-at-home mom. So anyway, she says, the hardest part about being a stay-at-home mom is being disrespected by everyone. I now hope the worst for you. Despite what funny acts you may think up in the future, you are a jerk
and deserve the worst that life has to offer. I don't understand. Like, this is the classic fucking person where everything is funny until it comes around to some shit in her life, and I make some fun of some shit that she's doing, being a stay-at-home mom, and now all of a sudden she goes from being a fan of mine to now I am a jerk and deserve the worst that life has to offer. That's a fucking hardcore, that you deserve the worst that life has to offer. So what, I'm going to get leprosy and be constipated all at the same time and fucking survive a plane crash, but not in a good way, you know? Anyways, I don't fucking know. Really? You're going to take it to that level? So I wrote her back. I said, sweetheart, Oprah Winfrey called your job the toughest job on the planet on national television and got an applause break of approval. How much more respect do you need? I think that's a great point. If I can step outside the email, break the fucking fourth wall. Is that what it is? The third wall? I never knew what the fuck it was. Huh? Oprah Winfrey's on TV saying you have the toughest job on the planet and everybody claps. All right? Did she say being a stand-up comedian is the toughest job on the planet? You think you know what it's like to be fucking disrespected, you apron-wearing, sheltered son of a bitch? Huh? You want to talk about being disrespected? Look at fucking comedians. Anytime they show a comedian in a movie, is it a Chris Rock level comic? It never is. It's the fucking hack with the lampshade on his head going waka waka. Right? Didn't the fucking comedian get shot in his gut during Scarface? Huh? Did a fucking stay-at-home mom get shot in the fucking stomach with that Mr. Potato Head mask on her face during that show? No. You know why? Because she was at home taking care of the fucking kids. Jesus Christ. I'm just going to read the rest of this email. That didn't even fucking make sense. It started off funny, and then it just went right off the rails. Like a Prius that you can't fucking stop. Anyways, she says, so I wrote, how much more respect do you need? And then I said, meanwhile, there are children working in sweatshops. Would you rather be a stay-at-home mom or an 8-year-old sewing Adidas together for 16 hours a day? I came up with another great example that I wish I had used on TV. How about you work on one of those fucking oil rigs, like those poor bastards who work for BP? Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the fucking thing explodes. You're standing on a metal structure in the middle of the goddamn ocean, and next thing you know, it blows up. Probably blew out both of your eardrums. You're deaf now, and you're on fire. All right? And your only option is either burning to death or jumping off of basically the equivalent of the top of a brownstone, trying to enter the water without doing the world's biggest flaming belly flop. Right? You land in the water, 2nd and 3rd degree burns in salt water. All right? Pus and blood is oozing into the water, and now all you can do is pray to God that the Coast Guard gets there before a sea of sharks eats you alive. All right? You want to do that, or you want to watch Bob the Builder for the 800th time? Lighten up. And then I wrote, and don't despise or hope the worst for me. That causes premature aging. Hugs. I know, that was kind of mean to say, but you know what? Go fuck yourself. All right, here's another one. Once again, we have to establish credibility at the top of the email. Are you guys ready for the credibility to be established? Jesus Christ, I know I am. Here we go. Bill, I am never appalled or, capital letters, offended by comedy that I see and hear. All capitals, this sentence. I have a great sense of humor. Wow, this is unbelievable. Isn't that amazing, podcast listeners? This person is never appalled or offended by comedy that she sees or hears. She has a great sense of humor. She has such a great sense of humor, people, that she had to yell it at me in emails. All right, so there's no way she had a problem with my act, right? Let's read the rest of the email. However, oh, Jesus, your appearance on the David Letterman show that I just watched just put down women and motherhood to an extent that is just downright unbelievable, ... Now she's going to yell again, and tasteless. Now she yells for the rest of this email, but I'm going to spare you guys. All right? I'm going to read it in soothing tones, but she's screaming the entire time. That's what I'm guessing because it's all capital letters. This is what she says. I challenge you to be a single parent and raise a child and work and attend college alone without any help. Just in case you don't know what being a single parent means. All right? You have no idea how hard it really is. I am disgusted with your act and will not ever buy any of your DVDs, etc. For the first time in my life, I am disgusted with comedy. Your comedy, that is. I like how she starts speaking like in film noir. I'm disgusted with this comedy. Your comedy, that is. See? Yeah. 23 skidoo. All right. Your act touched on many topics that you were disgraceful and very unappealing. I think she got so mad she stopped writing sentences. First of all, sweetheart, I wasn't making fun of single parents. If I was making fun of single parents, nobody would laugh. I was talking about stay-at-home moms. All right? You don't remember that line? Hanging out all day, making grilled cheese sandwiches. You're giving a puppet show. You dress like a dragon. And then some other adult comes home and gives you money. You're like a big kid. That some other adult coming home giving you money is your fucking husband, you dumb broad. Do I got to fucking spell it out to you? So I just wrote her back. I just said I wasn't talking about single moms. I was talking about stay-at-home moms. You weren't listening. Here's one for you. Getting dumped. Hey, Bill, I was listening last week and wanted to tell you about the worst way I was dumped. When I was in high school, I had a friend who was a girl, and I was in love with her in a pathetic, never-getting-laid way while she was banging half the football team. Oh, dude, that's like that movie Last American Virgin, right? Did I already use that reference on the podcast? I don't give a fuck. I'm hungover. Anyways, after high school graduation, we started dating, even though we went to different colleges 7 hours apart. I love how she starts dating you then because the football team left her and went to 47 different colleges, so she just needed a dick to ride. Over fall break, I went to visit her and stayed at her place for the weekend. On the last night at midnight, she told me she was seeing someone else and then expected me to stay at her house that night. Oh, what a cunt. I got up and packed my shit. And as I was about to leave, I did my best Brando impression to let her know how she fucked up. And as I started to go out the door after making my dramatic statement, she said, "Don't you need your keys?" Oh, this poor bastard. He goes, "I forgot my keys on the table all the way across the room. So I had to walk all the way across back across the room in shame to grab my keys, and then drove 7 hours back to college in the middle of the night." Dude, let me tell you something. You got half a victory there. Because you did leave. And you had the ability to walk all the way across the room to get your keys, and at no point during that long fucking walk did you break down in tears. You didn't. All right? Don't you need your keys? Oh, that's fucking brutal. That's like mean. Yeah, because you know what? She thought, I guess, that you were going to stay there for the night, so I guess she went mean there. Don't you need your keys? Obviously you need your keys. If she was trying to let you down easy, wouldn't she be like, you forgot your keys here, and just would have the decency to look down at the floor? Don't you need your keys? This is what I want to know from you. On that 7 hour drive back, how many different snappy comebacks did you come with for "Don't you need your keys"? I bet you were so fucking distraught they didn't even make sense. Don't you need your keys? Don't you need your cunt? Right? That doesn't even make sense, but, Something you'd say. Ah, you poor bastard. Whatever. You know what? The good news is she probably has 3 kids right now. Her body's looking like she's standing in a funhouse mirror, and she probably has some sort of fucking STD. So, there you go, sir. It all worked out in the end, didn't it? I got a lot of shit last week on my alleged fan page. Only I would get trashed on my alleged fan page, the mmpodcast.com. If you haven't visited there, you're missing out because that's where all the cool kids are, with their jeans rolled up, listening to At the Hop. No, I recommend YouTube videos and all that shit. Rather than having to go on and search them yourself, you can actually we do it for you at the MM Podcast. It's sort of a mom and pop store with no mother or no father. It's a tragic story, and I'm not going to get into it. But anyways, I got trashed on my own alleged fan page about my my alcohol tolerance. Because last week I was hungover because the night before I had 2 whiskeys and 2 Miller High Lifes. And everybody's, basically, doing what people, that's all you had. Dude, I can fucking drink a fucking case and, go unload a fucking truck. So could I when I was in my 20s. It's called being 42, people. Do you think I'm proud of that shit? This is the deal. If I have 1 beer, just 1 beer late at night, I wake up the next day. If I didn't drink a tall glass of water, I feel the effects. All right? I'm like this fucking 14-year NFL vet. That's what my liver's like. My liver is like the entire late 70s Pittsburgh Steelers brains right now. It's really fucking bad. Whatever. I can't handle it the way I used to. All right? What did Evel Knievel do at the end of his fucking life? Was he still jumping off his shit? Or was he fucking laying in agony, slumped over a fucking ottoman? I mean, you ask yourself the tough questions, people, you're going to get the answers you need to hear. God damn it, that smoothie is delicious. So that's why. Yes, people. So, but I am a man and I am competitive, so now I got to tell you some fucking not even drinking stories. I'm just going to rattle off some drinking stats from earlier on in my career. And this is no steroids, by the way, people. Okay, this is pre-steroids era in baseball. What a fucking joke, by the way, huh? Goddamn A-Rod. I don't get this shit. The fucking 20-minute memory sports fans have. Why were they doing the countdown to A-Rod's 600th home run? Can anybody explain that to me? Oh, you mean the guy who did roids and padded his fucking stats? A monumental achievement. Fucking Babe Ruth looked like he was in his second trimester. He's eating a fucking hot dog at the plate, and he banged out, 713? Is that what it is? It better not be 713. If I actually got that right, the level of patheticness to my social life. Yeah, I used to, back in the day, I could drink a 12-pack, no fucking problem, and then I'd go on to McDonald's. I'd get a quarter pounder with cheese, a cheeseburger, large fry, never liked their nuggets. Coke, and what else would I get? I'd have to get maybe 2 cheeseburgers. I needed a lot of bread and their fucking squirrel meat. And then I would, go to bed, and I would wake up literally 3-4 hours later, go to my job, and other than being sleepy, I felt fine. And I would go down there, and I'd unload trucks, kind of felt like shit. But when the roach coach showed up at 10:15, I'd go out there and maybe get a slice of pizza. Just to kind of sop up the rest of the alcohol. And I was good to go. But let me tell you something. You do that for 20 fucking years, it catches up with you. So one day you're 42, you have a couple of fucking whiskeys, a couple of Miller High Lifes, and you're banged up the next morning. And I'm not going to apologize. Okay? There's too many people in this country that are obsessed with the youth culture. Don't you hate when people say that? You know who says that? Old people. Because they're not fuckable anymore, and they can't emotionally come to terms with it. We are a youth-obsessed culture. Tell me another. And then they always got to bring up Japan, how they respect their elders. Really? How much do they respect them? Are they walking up to them at a fucking singles bar? I've always been turned on by 80-year-olds. Your wisdom, your fucking
chicken neck. Yeah, I have to understand. I'm like Brett Favre, okay? Every time people think I'm going to fucking retire, I come back for another goddamn round. You know, I fucking hate Judge Judy. I hate Judge Carroll. I hate all those motherfuckers, okay? There's one of some lady screaming at this guy going, you don't come in here and disrespect this court like that. Disrespect what court? It's a fucking TV show, you dumb cunt. You're not a fucking judge. I'm so sick of these fucking people who get TV shows about a job and they think that their fucking job now is still the job that they're showing. No, you're a TV star. It's not a fucking court of law, even though it has the authority of a court of law. How many courts do you know out there, okay, that cease to exist if they get bad ratings? You know what I mean? I actually left that comment on one of those fucking YouTube video things, man. This fucking girl showboating. They're always showboating, slamming down the hammer, screaming and yelling. And then, they go to the commercial and then the producer comes up and whispers in their ear like, yeah, that was great television. That was great television. Hey, do more yelling. Yell more. ESPN is making a killing with the yelling. Maybe it's my hatred of women. I don't know what it is, but those fucking women judges. That's my nightmare of what being married is. Because you're legally bound to them and they can take half your shit. So now they can fucking yell at you like that, banging a hammer on some fucking coffee table. Oh, I'll tell you right now, you can take half my shit and I'll fucking walk just to get away from you and your fucking goddamn menopause chicken neck fucking screaming at me. Go fuck yourself, Judge Judy. There's no fucking way I would stand there, okay, and get yelled at like that because a third of my swing set is on my neighbor's property. You're going to fucking yell at me like that? Because why are you yelling at me like that? You don't even feel it, Judge Judy. All you want to do is get good ratings. You're fucking grandstanding. Go fuck yourself. Please tell me you're not naked under that robe, you emaciated old whore.
Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, September 12th, 2016. What's going on? How are you? I'm in Virginia right now, okay? The state that professional sports forgot. Virginia is such a fucking enigma. You know what I mean? It's like you're in the South. They don't have any professional teams. And then their college teams haven't made enough fucking noise. You know what I mean? Like if you're in South Carolina, they don't have a professional team, but they got Clemson. They got the Gamecocks. Right up here, you got Virginia, you got Virginia Tech. No fucking disrespect, but, last time Virginia was on the map for me was when Ralph Sampson played center for your team. Haven't done my final show here in Richmond. Been having a great time on this tour. Todd Rex has been fucking destroying. And I want to thank everybody that came out to Charleston, South Carolina. We hit that cigar bar again. I haven't really worked out. I've eaten like okay or horrifically. I'm hoping, 5 days on the road I'll tell you, it's a rough one, Charlotte was great. Fucking Todd took me to this goddamn one of those, mom and pop chicken places, right? Which was fucking delicious, but, like 9 million calories. I didn't eat for the rest of the goddamn day after that place, but, so we went there, and then this friend of ours who was down there took us over to the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and they got this thing called the NASCAR Experience, where you can literally take this class and learn how to drive the car and all that, but, we didn't have time to do that. So they had a fucking NASCAR, and they took us around the track doing about 165 miles an hour. Took me first and then Todd, and we sat in, like, the passenger seat. Like Luke Duke. And went around, and I got to tell you, like, this is the amazing thing. Because they try to keep the car so light, you feel like you're in an absolute piece of shit. I mean, even like the gas pedal, the throttle, was like, it was like the tiniest thing I've ever seen in my life. It didn't even have the pedal on it. Any weight that they can get out of the car, they get out of the car. So all it was, I should have taken a picture of it. It looked like... it was like the thickness of a fancy coat hanger, and it kind of came up through the floor and then just went up and like started to make the letter F, but it didn't have that short little one. That's all it was. I'm like, your foot doesn't slip off that? And the kid's just laughing, going, no, it doesn't. It was some 21-year-old kid flying around the fucking track at like 165 miles an hour. I got to be honest with you, I didn't do well through the first like lap, and then I kind of settled into it. I don't mind going fast if I'm the one driving, but you know, just sitting in a chair as someone else is going 165 miles an hour that close to the wall was pretty goddamn intense. But I want to thank everybody over at the NASCAR facilities for letting us do that. But I have to tell you, instantly, the heat, the level of heat that was in that fucking car, because it was a really hot day, I can't imagine, with all those people watching, all of those other cars driving around the track, how fucking hot it gets. And then also, you know, you kind of get thrown around the car a little bit. Like I said, it's not like you're riding in a Lincoln Continental. And I don't know. My biggest concern is smelling all those fumes and all that shit and just driving around. I'd probably get sick just driving in a circle. Like the level of concentration that it would take to just keep fucking doing that for 2.5 hours, however long it takes. There'd be a while. I would just pull in the pit stop and just be, yeah, dude, I don't want to do this anymore. I did it. Went around the block. How many fucking times I got to do this? I don't want to do this shit. Forget about actually hitting the wall. That's what I just kept thinking about. For some reason, I wasn't thinking about going in head first. I was thinking about if you got spun around and you went, you know, rear of the car in first, just how bad that would fuck up your back. But it was cool. We got to ask the driver, you know, about some of his worst wrecks and all that type of shit. And then we went down and did the show. And one of these nights, I did like a fucking 2-hour show. I think that was in Charlotte. I got to stop doing that. I'm supposed to get my act down to about an hour and 20 minutes, but I'm thinking this special is going to be somewhere between 120 and 130. Just an absolutely incredible run. I'm telling you, people sleep on the South. They really do. How fucking great it is down here. But like I said, I've never been tailgated the way I was tailgated from fucking South Carolina up to Charlotte, and Charlotte over to Norfolk, Norfolk over to fucking Richmond. They get down to these 2-lane highways, and I'm telling you, it's like a NASCAR race. They're right on your ass there. I like Pirates. I don't know when the fuck did Pirates end? I know recently there was a pirate movie because Tom Hanks made the movie. I love how Tom Hanks is just like, if there's any sort of heroic act, it's like he has to play the part. I don't give a fuck if you're in space, all right? If there's a disease, he's done the disease. He's been lost in space. He's dealt with pirates. I'm sorry, my voice is fucked. Pirates. He's dealt with identity theft. He's landed a plane in the Hudson River. You know what I mean? And he's great at all of it, but it starts to get to the point of like, who the fuck does this Tom Hanks think he is? You know, as much as he's doing all of this in the movies, has Tom Hanks ever rescued a cat out of a tree? You know what I mean? I just don't understand where he gets off accepting all these roles. At some point, I mean, if I was him, I'd be like, I have to go out and go do something heroic, something. You know what I mean? I gotta, you know, help an old lady cross the street. Is that a weird thing to think? Like, if I was like one of those action heroes, at some point I would have to learn how to fucking shoot a gun. I'd have to get in a bar fight and you'd have to win, you know, at some point. Or you just feel like when you feel like an asshole on set. I mean, how many times can you do that Bruce Willis look over your shoulder where you raise up one eyebrow and you just catch the camera crew looking at you? And you know when they could all beat the shit out of you and you're sitting there in this fake third of a plane. Right rudder, or whatever the fuck you gotta yell. Yeah, Bill, it's called acting, you douchebag. Yeah, you know, I'm just fucking around. I love Tom Hanks. You know what I mean? He seems like a swell guy. He's very wholesome. You know what I mean? It's funny. He started off, you know, I don't think the religious right would have liked him, when he was in the dress. But I think gradually he's become very, appealing to the people on Fox News. He totally redid himself, like a lot of Republicans. A lot of Republicans start, at some point they're in a dress, right? And then they apologize and they say that it's the booze. You know what I mean? And then they just get super hardcore into Jesus. Where it was your Democrats, they're fucking, they're in their bare feet in college, walking around, taking LSD and all that type of shit, Then they lie about it later. I don't even know what I'm talking about. All I know is I just wish I could hit pause and never have this election happen.